All right, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be jumping into my Loopy Pro template here that I have. It's basically set up like Launchpad, like a Launchpad kind of performance interface, as you can see, with these pads here. You know, you have each one represents a channel. This one right here is your drum. I have it set up as MIDI drum, MIDI bass, MIDI keys, synth, etc. And then you have your guitar, and then another guitar channel, or ukulele, audio, whatever you have plugged into your audio input, and then your vocals for your microphone channel. So I have two audio inputs, which I'll show you, and then this is how you switch between your MIDI, these three right here. And so this would be the bass, and then obviously keys and synth. You have a clear and reset right here. You just press and hold, and you will clear and reset basically almost everything. Sometimes, like if you have certain settings within these, like in here, like you swipe up and then you can get inside here and do some stuff. You can do a lot of different controls here. But anyway, sometimes if you make changes or if you name it, it'll keep the name the same. So you might have to go in there and manually change that sometimes. But besides that, it basically resets tempo and it will clear all these. So you might want to save these before you press and hold this, just a warning. Right here, you have your mute. This mutes all your channels when it's engaged like this. When you see the color, when it's blue, that means that it's engaged. It's muted. All the channels should be muted. It doesn't mute everything though, it mutes all the channels, but sometimes if you have like other things, sometimes like effects don't get muted. Haven't really figured that one out, but it does its job basically. I hardly ever use it. This one right here is the one that's important that I like to use quite a bit. It's to mute the kick, basically my other MIDI channel here. This MIDI channel, the one that doesn't have my MIDI controller routed to it. This Koala B, I'm using it basically as a drum sequencer. This is my MIDI controller, my DMK, Donner DMK 25. You might get like a little sign just like this one right here. I actually deleted a plugin, my J6 synth, just so I can show you what yours is going to look like. You might have a lot of these, and I'll show you what to do. This might look like that, and if it does, you just press and hold. It'll say replace. You click on that, and then as you can see, my DMK shows up here. You have your virtual MIDI. Say you don't have a MIDI controller, you might be using something like this. But if you do, it'll show up kind of like, it'll probably look like this. So anyway, I just click on that. I would click on this or whichever one that you have. Anyway, I'll keep mine the same. And then for this one here, I'll show you, since you might have Koala, so Koala might pop up. And if it does, you probably want to put your own drum samples in there. That way you can use it, You can download my free World Percussion drum sample pack, which is on my Gumroad as well. And it's got a bunch of stuff in there that you could use. Anyway, this is the one that I said isn't routed. Obviously, you can see it doesn't say DMK right here like these ones do. So this one I have set up as just a sequencer. I'm using it just as a sequencer. I'm using the sequencer in here. I just have one kick going across, 1 bar or 2 bars. Yeah, it's nothing fancy, just to kind of get things started. And I'll show you why, so the first thing you would do when you download this, just so I don't get off track here, you're going to download this. You'll be presented with this. First thing you want to do is click on here and then make sure that you have something, in these channels. And so you'll probably end up with something like this, I'm sure. So what you do is you just hold it, click it, hold it, replace. You go to your audio unit instrument, just anything really that I have, Mint. All right. So we have Mint in there. Let's see if this works. Gotta go back over to here. And there's Mint. Go back. And let's see if this works. Yay, it worked. That's pretty much the main thing that you're gonna have issue that you're gonna come across right when you load the template. So you'll fix that. Once you have that fixed, you probably want to set up your whatever your drum sequencer is. You know, however you want it to be, a kick snare or kick. You know, 4 on the floor kind of a thing, like I have here. Just to get you started, and I'll show you exactly what I mean to get you started. So you'll come over here and you'll set a tempo. You can click. I'll turn that click off. This is for the click, so you can hear the metronome. But you can tap your tempo here. So tap my tempo there, and you would push play, and it's playing. Now you can hear the click. This is, you know, you take the click off. This is so you can hear the kick. And that way you can just start playing. And the first thing you would do, like I'll play a little bass line in here. And I have it here to where you can click on here and record, you know. I just erase that because I just want to show you. Anyway, or you can, this is what I have it set up to where it'll record your, you know, starting from the top, and then you can press it again, and then it'll just keep recording down the line, you know. I don't have it to where it overdubs. So you can kind of watch here where you're at, you know. And this will also show you too, I have it to where it starts in the bar. Sorry, I'm not trying to be a showman here. I'm just trying to show you guys how this works. And then if you want to, I'll show you how it does it again. See how it'll wait. You can change the settings. You don't have to wait either. And just keeps going down. Okay. So yeah, this will launch your scenes right here. I'm gonna turn this mute back on here. And like I said, this is your clear and reset. Now I'm going to show you how to set up these real quick. These are pretty easy. It's really just represents the controls on my MIDI controller. I have 4 little knobs and 4 faders. One of them is kind of messed up, so I have a little workaround. But on my MIDI controller, it's have a little technical issue still. But anyway, so I use Koala effects. I'll come down here and load Koala effects right here. Oops, went the wrong way. I don't know when it does that. So Koala effects is down here somewhere. Boom. And I'll click on Koala effects. I'll turn it on. And I'll go to MIDI learn right here. Or I'll come up here and then I'll go to MIDI learn. And you'll go right over here. Click on this. Actually, instead of clicking on that, click on filter. And now click on this. See how it's blinking? See, you click on one of these controls and then it'll start to blink, and then it'll automatically know that I'm wanting to, I'm adjusting the filter. So the action is adjust continuously. No, for the filter, I do it a little differently. Others, you might set it up that way, but I do a toggle value and come out, and then you basically will go to the MIDI, where is it? I think it's waiting for, oh yeah, you go back over here, I'm sorry, and see how it says listening for events? You just use the fader you want. So I just moved my fader on my MIDI controller that I want to use. I want to control this. And then you just come right over here, and then you close, and then you'll see that I have my filter is being controlled by my MIDI controller. And that's basically, I just do that with all of them. Like you want to do gate, you know, click on gate, and then, or go up here, I'm sorry, and then you go to MIDI learn. I get confused myself. Then you go to click whichever one you want. The other one I like to use is Dirty, and Crush is a good one. So see how this is blinking again? Click on that, and it's already got Crush. And you would probably do adjust continuously maybe, or assign value. I think this is the one I normally use. I would mess around with it, see which ones you like. I think this should get you guys up and running. If you have any more questions, please let me know. Please message me, comment, and I'd be happy to respond and do the best I can to get you going. Catch you in the next one, guys.